Area Woodturners, I went to the bathroom and I came out president. So, don't ever go to the bathroom or you'll be president, which Steve would love to have you do. So, what I've been doing, I went to the symposium in 2023 and I wandered into a demo that was canceled and somebody else did it. Did a different demo. And I was enthralled with that demonstration because I saw the possibilities of what I can do with a canvas when you do this thing. So it turned out to be offset turning, which is basically a mold offset in another piece of wood. What you need to do is use dry wood. I'm basically doing about 7.5 to 10-inch pieces of wood. Buy it dry from a place up in Detroit, and it works out real well. However, if you get I've got a 16-inch swing on my lathe, so if I want to turn something this size, I still need to keep 2 inches of thickness or better, and I'm going to lose some of it when I turn. So I take a board and I glue it off center so I can put my tenons or my mortises in and move them around, and that eventually is going to go away and I don't lose my thickness. Whereas on any of these and the ones we do today, I could care less if I lose a 1/4 inch of thickness, and I'm going to lose a 1/4 inch of thickness. So this can go back over on that table now. So there's a variety of the gentleman who did this, who did the demo in Kentucky, his name is Keith Gottschall, and when he did this, I think in 2007 or 9, he just did a bunch of concentric rings, and that's what you end up with. And when he was at 2023, he did it a little differently. He did it with leaving this place just blank, and I go, that's terrible. What can I do with it? So that's what I do with it. I put all kinds of things into it. The other thing that's interesting is most of them I have this little tiny lip on the bottom. You can pass that around, it's no big deal. So that is the idea, is you're gonna end up with a bowl inside. You're gonna have that tiny little lip at the bottom. And then I started doing, at the very end, now rounding this off, so it's a little harder to hold and go, okay, how did he do it? So we're gonna go over there whenever you guys want to, but you're welcome to pick these up, and if there's any questions, we can do them over there or here. Has anybody got?
What about the one with blue? How did you do the blue? That's really striking, by the way.
This is dry brush, but the burning the guy's name is Kells, K-E-L-S, and you get the burrs at one of the carving companies, and you take them and they're a bowl shape, and they won't cut this. It won't work. They were designed for something else. And what you do is you take them over to your grinder and you grind them flat until all you got left there's some teeth. And when you got the teeth there, they'll go in there and they'll burn. And they smoke like crazy. So you don't, if I'm in my house, I'm in a basement. I do all my burning outside, or 90% of my burning outside.
There was a guy from St. Paul that did that process and did a demo on it.
You were there?
I was there, but
Yeah, Kells.
Yeah.
I was there, yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. You probably saw him.
Yeah, but I bought the burrs from him, and
The burrs.
MDI, that's who it is.
So do the burrs fit in a Dremel or?
They fit in a Dremel,
There's different sizes.
and there's 5 different sizes.
Could you use a drill press or it doesn't go fast enough?
It probably, you put your drill press up fast enough to do it, but a Dremel is a whole lot easier.
Okay.
And then I just was outside with the Dremel and holding it on my hip, and 3 or 4 of the bigger ones, I went to the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and finally I just filled it in with the tiny ones.
And the blue?
And the blue, and then this was, partial, and then I masked it off and painted black on it, and then I dry brushed it. And so dry brushing, you're taking paint. I don't have a paintbrush, I guess we'll get a paintbrush. And you put paint,
I might have one.
you might have one. And it doesn't have to be I use actual dry brushing brushes. You can get them from Amazon, they're pretty cheap. And you take your paint, you dip your brush, and you just go all over everything, you know? And now you got almost no paint on your brush, and
The brush is virtually almost dry.
almost.
That's what he means.
And then you get some more paint, you get rid of all of that paint, and you do it again. So this was painted with white and then 5 different blues. So that's how I did that.
It looks great with it. Is it cherry?
It's cherry.
It's just a wonderful color
Yeah,
combination.
it's a nice combination.
I've also found out that blue looks super with terracotta flower pots
Yeah.
or mesquite.
So,
There's something about those reddish colors with that blue.
so this one, this one here is, I think it was some kind of Douglas fir or some spruce, and it split a lot of, but my wife liked the flowers, and that was just burned and painted. And all of these you can come up and play with and touch, it doesn't matter. This is iridescent paints and a balloon, a very underinflated balloon, and you press it in the paint, and you dab. Press in the paint, dab. And you got 3 or 4 different colors. So I got, this one was, I think blue, gold, and purple. And again, they're all, you can touch them all. Some of them are water drops, and there's only one that I didn't do anything to. This one was spinning with paint that there was a guy who wanted to do this, and okay, I'm game, so. It's white paint with a bunch of enamels and something that spread the paint, made it blister and run. So I don't remember the process.
And how about the round thing?
The round thing?
Yeah.
I'm not supposed to show that. Again, in Minneapolis, this guy came from France. His name was Lauren. Did you go to that one?
I saw it.
Did you go to that demo? Okay. So I came home and I said, okay, I'm making one. Finding the zinc was a bear. So I bought a roll of zinc. It was $35 for not very much. And then I had to buy a jeweler's saw because you can't cut it with you could cut it with a scroll saw, but it's bouncing too much. So I ended up buying a jeweler's saw. So I ended up cutting a whole bunch of things. I really love making spheres. Spheres feel really good in your hand. So this was a chunk that was maybe this big. I did not make the sphere on this part. Just left it open, and then I made steps to fit each one of my pieces, and then glued them in, and then I filled it in with some coffee.
So you made a series of steps and each layer of metal glued to a step? Is that, am I understanding?
That's it. And so now with that, I've decided that that's a pretty cool process. What about if I kept this all here and kind of bore down with a boring bar, tapered it in, and then came with a sharpened Allen wrench and went this way and made my steps. And then did some carving on those little pieces that are still out. So that's the next thing I'm gonna try. So everything I do kind of builds on everything else that I've been doing. Sometimes it's goes on the track, and sometimes you just keep building on. But these offset bowls, I've been fascinated with what I can do, and the biggest thing I think is this becomes a canvas. Our exec board meeting is Tuesday night, and I thought, oh crap, I can't do it. But now I found out every Tuesday night is figure painting in a place. So for $10, I can go and give this to you, because you're a figure painter. I said, could you put something on there, and I'm gonna go outside and burn it, and then bring it back, and it'll be a little collaborative piece. So, that's another thing, if someone's in art, more artsy, hey, give it to your buddy to do flowers on it. There's a lady that, in Ferndale, she wants to, paint on one of my pieces, flowers, she does gorgeous flowers. I just give it to her, I don't care, it's wood, grows on trees, right? So, any questions on what we're gonna do on this? Gets real exciting back there, by the way, when we start turning off Sunday. That's when it's fun.
Everybody, the lathe is good and heavy, right?